I will start your lecture. Okay, let's start with the lecture. So we were discussing about the letter writing, and we in the previous letter we discussed about some of the types of letter writing, and then we talked about formal letter writing pattern, how we need to draw the structure, and there were three different structures, that was blocked, semi-blocked, and this we were doing about the modified style of letter writing. So we were done with that, and now we are going to today we are going to discuss the types of business letter writing. So I will discuss with you guys basically four types of letter writing. So let's start with the business letters. Why we need to write down the business letter is the basic question that arises into the mind of students and into anybody who is going to talk about letter writing. So letter writing is basically a formal way of communication when you are going to write down it from one business organization to another business organization, or you can say for the correspondence between such organizations and their customers, clients, and any party that is not internal, that is external from where you are going to collaborate with them. So there you try to write down, or there you try to like communicate with them through letter writing. And these are used basically for various purposes, like we sometimes we need to make apology to them if there will be any complaint from the clients or the customers. Similarly, we also try to make sometimes like orders through the letters. We do inquiries through the letters as well. Before going to the investigation into that organization, first we need to inform to them, and that information can be run through the proper documentation, that is in the form of letter writing. Then sometimes claims and adjustments are also made through the request letters, and sometimes we just need to only convey our good wishes or goodwill to that organization, so we use letter writing in that purpose. So it is also said that nowadays basically it is very useful way, because it produces a lot of record, and that record can be kept confidential and formal, and it is also delivered to convince someone, and it is also thought that it is a well considered message. People take it more serious as compared to the like your oral communication. The written communication is considered more written communication is considered more formal way. So style of letters depend on the relationship between the parties that are concerned to talk with each other, that are concerned to communicate with each other. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about the four types of letter writing which we use in business. The first one is complaint letter, second one is inquiry, third one is about your apology letter, and the very fourth one that we are going to talk about is business proposal letters. So let's start with the first one, that is complaint letter. Why we need to write down complaint letter and what it basically conveys? Question arises this into the mind. So we talk about like a complaint letter is any formal legal document that sets out the facts and legal reasons to make a complaint, followed by a suggestive remedy. So when somebody has a complaint, they try to write down a letter that is based on all the figures, all the facts that they need to quote into it, and they are truth based, they are factual, nobody can deny them. So with proofs we try to write down that letter. And in the similar letter, what type of like negotiation into that, or what type of remedy into that, what type of cure for that we required. We also suggest that to the person whom we are going to make a complaint, so that we place into that letter. Then we can say that complaint letters are situations which may people find sometimes very difficult. They also said that in England, negative feelings can also be clarified through through these type of letters, and also the fairness to the recipients of the letter, which is also can be cleared into these types of letter, who are responsible for that mistake. So that's why we need to write down complaint letter. Then the basically we divide complaint letter into two categories. The first one is the person who is writing about that complaint, who is basically going to complain, what is their purpose, and second one is the receiver's purpose. So first we are going to talk about the purpose of the complaints. Complaining, the person who is going to complain basically first identify the problem about the complaint. First they need to identify that, then they are going to express the effect of that problem onto that same person, and then they will notify this complaint to the recipient according to your own choices, your own desires. Then what audience is why audience is required and what is their purpose. You will want to basically give them details about that complaint. They need to put an inquiry onto it, how it happened, why it happened, what was the reason it happened, so all this. Then you will be resistant to implied failure and loss, like whatever happened to you, you need to you want to cure it, you want uh, a remedy for it. So that is why you are going to write down to the audience, they make an action on it. Then it is about they maybe are going to be concerned to secure your goodwill and benefit. They will provide you maybe a replacement of to that thing, or they will provide you a good thing in the replacement of that. So this they basically do. Then they will do what, they will weigh the cost of leaving you unhappy with cost of making you happy. So that means they are going to give you maybe the more amount that will leave a happy impression about that organization towards you, so that your all the loss can be recovered. So that is why we the those letters like complaint letters are made. Then I will like to give you an example of that. You can see it and you can identify that what type of letter writing it is given. Read it if you can read it. Guys, read it. When you will read it, raise your hands. Okay, read it. So can you give me like what type of letter it was?
It was मैम that the customer was complaining that कि मतलब जिस बीच होटल का उसने सोचा था कि उसका जो रूम है वो बिल्कुल सामने होगा, एक ब्यूटीफुल व्यू मिलेगा
Exactly.
उसको, उसके अदर
Yeah.
हैंड पे वो जहाँ पे रह रहा है वो वहाँ पे डंपिंग एरिया और स्मेल्स वेरी बैड और टेरिबल है सिचुएशन, मतलब जो उसने सोची नहीं थी वो नहीं, जो सोचा था वो
Yeah.
नहीं हुआ,
So
इसलिए
it
वो कह रहे
was
कि आप
a
मुझे
base. Yes.
आप मुझे
Yes.
करें नहीं तो फिर मैं जो है कि कोई और होटल देख लूंगा.
Yeah, so basically it was about beyond his expectations or her expectations. So as Julia was concerned about the view of that hotel and that beach, that she wanted from that hotel, and it was not received by her. So that's why she just made a complaint for it. You can see there are some phrases that are used in a very polite manner into this complaint. It was not a direct complaint that is made to that organization, that you haven't done this, you haven't done this, you should do it. You have seen that there are phrases that are used in a very polite manner. If you can go for it, I have always wanted to be your customer in my visit. So this phrase, if you are going to see, she does not complain. I like first, before going towards the complaint, she has made a very polite statement that I wanted to be your customer while my visiting that place, and then I want to keep it forever if I get a good advice from you. And it is molding them, your the organization whom you are going to complain about the things, they will listen you. But if you directly stating your point of view, that I will leave it, you haven't done this, and it has really disappointed me, you don't have work ethics and this and that. So you will see, if you are going to complain in this way to your being a customer, so people will never bother you. If you have any kind of complaint in your life about anything, have you ever seen that we people try to indirectly communicate? We always communicate in a very indirect way, in a very harsh way. We never try to be polite, we never try to make them to consider about to consider our like complaints. So this is what, Varisha, what you are typing, it is so annoying. So if this type of complaint is made, nobody is going to put focus on to your complaint. But if once you are going to work on it, and you will see that how people are going to listen to you, your politeness, your word ethics, and your use of word and structure of those words really matters while you are going to write down in a very formal way. Is it clear to all? If there is any ambiguity, you can raise your hands. Okay. Hamna. Yes, Hamna.
मैम एक दफा फिर समझा दें कि आपने क्या कहा है कि अगर कॉम्प्लिकेटेड वे में होगा तो क्या होगा?
No, not complicated way, Hamna. I mean, sometimes if you have seen, for example, if I'm going in a restaurant and I have ordered a food into that, and you will see that if it is not up to the mark, and if it is not according to my expectation, we straightforwardly try to complain to the manager. We always call to the waiters and say, call your manager, I wanted to complain him about what you have served. We never try to go with the polite use of language. We never try to use the words that we need to make while complaining about something. So in this way, the whom you are going to complain about something, you will see that they will not focus on your complaint. But if you are going to use your phrases in a very polite manner, in a way, while a suggestion from your side, if they can make it good, if they can make it if they can change it according to your expectations, so there they try to focus on it, they try to meet your expectations. So this is what we have to keep in mind. You will see that I don't find any convenience as stated in your brochure. It is said that all room face to the beautiful view of the Parentaritus, and on the other hand Tritus, and on the other hand I get a room which views to the dumping area. It smells bad and very terrible. I have always wanted to be your customer. So you will see, She has not said after complaining all this that I'm going to leave your hotel. I will book some other hotel. You don't have work ethics. You people don't have care about the your customers and values of the customers. We always try to complain like this, but the actual way is you have to complain, state them, and then make a very polite relationship with the organization so that they can listen you. Otherwise they will not. You will see in your daily life, people will never listen you if you are going to be harsh towards your complaints. Is it clear now, Hamna? If you can unmute
Yes, ma'am.
your, is it clear? And is it clear
Yes,
to
ma'am.
rest of the class as well? Okay, perfect. So let's move towards the second one, that is about your inquiry letter. Inquiry is basically a letter that is we always used for a product, services, in a business. When we going to inquire, make an inquiry letters, that mean we are going to write down about some importers or to some exporters, and there are another inquiry categories that we need to use. That is general inquiry and specific inquiry. In general inquiry, what we normally write down, we normally write down about only that product or that catalogs of the sample, that we need to get general understanding that what that basically product is about. So that is an inquiry that we can make on surface level, not in depth. When we make a specific inquiry, there we need to make the buyers has a particular product in the mind and his wants or her wants about that, what specific things a person requires into that, about that. When we talk about, it is an inquiry for a specific thing. Then when we talk about letter for the inquiry, then we say that this letter is written of knowing about the quality, quantity and price of that goods, and conditions of the business are known as inquiry letters. So when we are going to, you can say, think about all the sides of that product, everything about that product we wanted to know or we wanted to inquire, then we are going to write down inquiry letters. And its foundation is basically in the terms of business. So what we will say that goods well bought are half sold. That means if you have conveyed everything about that product, if it is keeping like each and every information of that, that means it will be sold well if you have bring its good information towards your customer. So for letter of inquiry, what basically we need to make it conciseness, its courtesy and specificity. When we talk about conciseness, we see that letter should be short. I told you in the very first the lecture of letter writing, that as much as you are going to be brief about your letter, it will be clear to your customer, it will be clear to the person whom you to your receiver. So they are going to comprehend it quite easily, they will understand it easily. So that's why you need to make it concise. Then courtesy, that I have told you that you need to bring politeness in your words and into your tone. Very formal, be very formal and be very polite while you are using the words. Be very conscious about it when you are going to talk about your letter writing, you're writing any letter into the formal way. Because in your informal letter writing, you can talk about any informal language, you can maybe go to harsh. This depends on your relationship to the person whom you are going to write down that letter. But when it comes about the business letter writing or professional letter writing, you have to choose words that can show the positive side, that can show that your good behavior to your recipient. Then specify, like you don't need to put extra details and any information that is not required. You just go to the specific thing that required for that, that is related to that very information about you are asking or about you are conveying that information. So be very definite, clarify the things. Explanation even should be very specific to that. Don't put extra details. Extra details always bring ambiguity into your wording, in not only ambiguity in your wording but ambiguity to the person whom you are writing. So it will create a lot of trouble for you. So that's why we say that it should be specific. Then strategies that we need to apply. The first we talked about the characteristics that we need to use in your in the inquiry letter writing. Then we are going to talk about the strategies that are required for the letter writing in a inquiry letter. First is that you have to make an orientation of that. Then you have to convey some information into the second paragraph, and the third one is your action. So these three types of paragraphs you need to make in an inquiry letter. And your first paragraph, that is about orientation, it is going to talk about like what is the reason of that inquiry, why you want that inquiry, why you required that inquiry. So that why question is going to be answered by your first paragraph. There you are going to put the explanation of that before your actual question. So there you are going to talk about that. Then you are going to convey some information of that inquiry. State the questions or inquiry, what you inquire, what is required to you for the inquiry. So those questions can be asked into the second one. And the third one is your action. Induce a reader to respond or act. So there your action, your words, your statements or your sentences are going to talk about that, why you want your the person, the recipient, to how to react on it, what action you want from them, what what participation you required from them. So that is basically into your last paragraph. And it is also said that again, be definite as to how, where and when the reader should act. Then you can see, if you can see this sample. Yes, Hamna. Yes, Hamna. Hamna. Hamna, unmute yourself.
मैम अनम्यूट नहीं हो रहा था, अभी हुआ है मैम। वो
Okay,
मैंने
जी।
कहना था कि इंक्वायरी किस चीज की, इंक्वायरी मतलब क्या, किस चीज की इंक्वायरी?
Abhi, I'm going to move forward about the inquiry letter, and then I will tell you it's about anything. Like for example, sometimes you need a research, you need some data from a organization, and you wanted there few things that you need to work on it, and you want them, they need to provide you data about it. For example, if it is about your you people are from architecture, fashion industry, so you will see that if you wanted to make your inquiry on fashion shows, for example, so you need data about how they organize it, what specificities they required for that organization. So in your writing, in your research, you need all the data of that fashion shows organizations. So you will move towards them and you will ask them that you need that data, you wanted to collect it for your research purpose, and cooperate with you about that data. And whatever the categories you will make, it is about from the orientation towards the ending of that fashion show. So everything that is required to you, you will write down in a letter, and you will ask them to access, to make, to grant you a permission or to give you access about that data. So you will write down that letter. That is basically inquiry letter. You got it?
Yes,
Hamna,
ma'am.
is it
Yes,
clear?
ma'am. Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
ma'am.
If there is any question, you can ask again.
Okay, ma'am.
You can read this letter. Now, guys, read this letter and let me know that are you going to understand it? That what basically inquiry letters are in business for business purpose. Uh, Read it. Yes, Mariam. Mariam, you wanted to ask something? You can. Okay. Are you guys done with the letter? Raise your hands when you will done with it. Mariam, I have unmuted you, dear. You are unmuted. No, Mariam, you are unmuted from my side. I don't know why it is from your side. Let me to do it again. You can see you are not mute from my side. Okay, guys, done. So you will see that the first one was about the information that the recipient has conveyed, what they basically going to do. They have given their own background, that from where they belongs and why they required it. Okay, now you can lower your hands, guys. So the second one is the information that they needed, what information they needed for the research, why they want that inquiry into the hospital. And then the third is the action, that they required from the hospital, that they want hospital, how they cooperate with them. So you will see that how they have made an inquiry letter. And according to the format of the letter, you can divide the letter into the you can put the letter into the category, either it is the block, it is semi blocked, or the modified form of letter writing. Then we are going to move towards the state sentences, some sentences that are really needed for inquiry letters. If we are going to talk about a product, inquiry of a product, then you can use these type of sentences, and these sentences can be changed according to your requirement as well. Maybe you are not going to ask about the prices of the product, maybe it is about the, like we have done about the data. So you can mold these, and they have given, please quote your lowest rates for the following items. We shall be grateful if you would kindly inform us of the terms and conditions of supply. So you will see that how the wordings are used. We shall be grateful if you would kindly inform us. So the language and its politeness you will see. Then the last one, if you will see, we are interested into, which you recently advertised. They haven't asked directly to them that we wanted this information about the prices. They have talked about we are interested into it. So that means it will give a thought to the recipient that these people are really serious about the things. That's why we need to convey the information accordingly. So the seriousness comes, and that in this way you will get the response basically according to that, your according to your wording, according to your use of language. Then you will see that request to send a price list or uh, catalog. For that they have used some of the sentences, how you are going to use these phrases. Please send your, we invite you to submit your, we would like to have a copy of. So these type of words, we would like to, we invite to, please send your. So these are the phrases that are required for the inquiry letter that can make to you to receive a good response, whom you are going to write down that. Then there is another example of your inquiry letter that I have given here. You will see that they have given how the opening sentences are always about your information. Keep in mind, whenever you are going to have any inquiry about anything, the opening sentences are about your information. They are going to talk about who you are, whom you belong, what is basically your agenda. So then the next is your focus and your action, what you want from that inquiry, what you want from that organization for your inquiry. So that is basically the third one. And closing sentences are always with the with thinking in anticipation, you can say, or you can say like they, how you want response from them, what type of response you required. So with these type of actions you are going to end your inquiry letters. If there is any question till here, guys, you can ask. I'm sorry, Mariam. I don't know why it is happening with you. From my side, you are unmuted. I don't know why you are not unmuted from your side. So you can give me the favor. If you, after the class, you can ask me the questions. There is your, I'm going to have your counseling hour after that. So you can ask in that counseling hours, or you can directly ask me through WhatsApp or email, whatever is suitable to you, you can ask me about. Then we are going to move towards the business proposals. Yes. Hello. If anyone wanted to ask the question, they can.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम मैम, मैं भी अनम्यूट हो गई।
वालेकुम। Oh, finally. Yes, Maria.
कैसी हैं आप मैम?
I'm good.
मैम एक्चुअली मैंने पूछना था कि इससे रिलेटेड हमारी कोई असाइनमेंट हमें मिलेगी कि हमने कोई लेटर लिख के आपको
Obviously,
भेजने हैं?
yes, for sure there
और
will
मैम
be
ये
assignment.
लेटर पैटर्न जो है, क्योंकि आई थिंक वो काफी नंबर मतलब उसके होते हैं, मतलब कि सबके डिफरेंट है लेटर पैटर्न या सबका तकरीबन सेम ही है?
It depends, like what type of letter you are writing. It depends on you. Either you wanted to use the letter, when we talk about formal letter writing, you can
Mm-hmm.
categorize them into three parts that we talked into the first your
Mm-hmm.
lecture. That was semi blocked letter writing, semi blocked letter writing, and modified letter writing.
Hmm.
So what is feasible for you, you can categorize accordingly. If you wanted to
Okay,
use
ma'am.
semi block pattern, you can use it, but you have to keep focus on one very important thing. If you are choosing semi blocked, then your pattern must be according to semi blocked. It shouldn't be half of the things you have picked from the semi block and half of the things you have picked from the
Oh,
blocked
okay, ma'am.
type. Got it?
ओके मैम मैम फिर आप हमें एक टॉपिक देंगी
Yeah.
उसको फिर हमने लेटर
Yes.
में करके आपको असाइनमेंट देनी
Exactly. So
ओके मैम
at the start of your or at the end of your letter, you will see that what you will write down that what pattern you have picked.
ओके मैम
You can write it down to me into that letter at the very end, that it is a pattern that is based on the semi-block letter writing.
ओके मैम थैंक यू
Got it? So according to that, I will give you assignment on it, and you have to submit it. Obviously, it will make your practice and you will be feasible and you will be comfortable while writing your letters. So don't worry
ओके
about it.
मैम थैंक यू
Anyone else? You're welcome. Anyone else who wanted to ask question till now? Okay, perfect. Let's start with the third letter writing. That is about business proposal, and you will you can imagine, like, for a business or for any organization, this business proposal letter writing means a lot. It is really important when you are going to propose someone for the business, because this all your acceptance of that proposal depends on your this writing, how you are going to how well you are going to write down this proposal for someone. So it should be very organized, it should be very concise, it should be very purpose based, very task oriented kind of proposal. As much as you will keep focus on this type of letter, your proposal will be accepted soon. For example, if you are going to launch your own product about any marble, if you are going to for the interior designing, if you are going to go for the fashion designing, so you are going to launch your any new brand or any your collection. So the organization whom you are going to make a contract, for example, you have made some dresses and you wanted to collaborate with Khadi, and you are going to present your business proposal to them. So as much as your documentation is going to be convincing for them, it should be persuasive for them, it should be concise for them. They will try to think on, and they will start thinking on, and they will accept maybe your proposal. So make your writings according to that. It should be that much powerful, and it should be that much clear should be. So let's start with the types of basically business proposal. Internal proposals are there, external proposals are there, solicited proposals are there, and unsolicited proposals are there. So when we talk about the very first one, that is internal proposal, we say that if you are going to write down a proposal to someone, that is basically in your own organization, within your own, from your own organization, and the with your own people of your organization, you are going to communicate. So you are going to present your agenda that is about in a form of letter writing, that is internal proposal. With internal proposal, you may have not to include certain sections such as your qualifications, or you may not have to include as much information in them, like you about your qualification, about your personal information. You don't need to put into the internal proposals, because that organization, they knew you, They know your like area of specification. They know you even your the rest of the information about you. So you don't need to, you directly need to go about your agenda, what you wanted to talk about to them. So just go with it. But when, as compared to this one, in contrast of this, if we are going to go for the external proposal, so that means you are a new person to them. They are unknown to you and you are unknown to them. So for that reason, you obviously try to go for the every information, not only on the level of your personal, but your professional information, everything they require that. So that is why it is said that one written from one separate or independent organization, any other organization whom you are going to write down. So there you are going to put every information while you are going to write down external proposal. Then we are going to talk about solicited proposal. So in this type of proposal, the recipient of the proposal in some way requested for the proposal. Like if you are going to, as I have given you, like if you are going to write down the proposal to Khadi. So before your writing, basically Khadi approached you, and they talked to you that they required your proposal for this very thing. So that is solicited. So typically a company will send out their request to you first, and according to their request you are going to work on it, and you are going to present your proposal. That can be through mail, or that can be published in some other news source. Some other sources you have read that they required some proposal for their organization. So that's why you have written it. So then the last one is unsolicited, are in those in which the recipient has no idea about your proposal. They haven't asked you, but you have made that proposal to convince them, to persuade them that this is the problem, this is the thing that you wanted to talk about, and or you need to exist before you can begin the main part of your proposal. So that's why beforehand you are going to talk about your problem. So it is about your unsolicited proposals. Then uh, if we talk about the next part, that is about business proposal. So when we talk about business proposals, for business proposal there is a very different format. It is not about inquiry letters or the complaint letters or the apology letters. For business proposal you need really different kind of thing. For example, first you need the cover page, then you need the summary, executive summary, then you need the background of that, then is about your proposal, and the last one is your marketing analysis of that proposal. So when we talk about the proposal letter, so first cover page is going to talk about what? This is basically your title page, the first page. On that proposal, you have written the your name, your title of that proposal, about what you are going to write down, then the date and the specific reference. Reference means if somebody has requested to you, yeah, on the request of someone you are going to write down that. So then you are going to make the executive summary. It's like an abstract in the report. Like mm, basically it is said that after rest of all your work, the data you have collected, the idea that you are going to present, and the analysis, at the end you are going to write down this summary, but this always comes first in the report. So in that letter you are, before that letter you are going to write down that executive summary, that can be of one or two paragraphs. Normally it can be of one paragraph only, it is more than enough. Then when you are going to talk about the background, then discuss history of your product. If you have launched any, if you are going to work on any like design, So what is that design? The design belongs to what? Is it a summer one or the winter one, or what type of fabric you are going to use, and what extra you can say embroidery, what type of embroidery or the pearls or whatever. So every detail of your product you are going to quote into that company, because it is their right as well. Before buying to that, before contracting with you, the company requires every information related to the product, so you have to put that information into the background of your proposal. Then is your main task, your main agenda of your proposal, that is your the idea of that. Who, what, where, when, why, and how, all WH question including how. When you are going to answer these into your proposal, you can consider yourself you have written a well informed proposal. And it is really hard to reject such proposals which are clear, which are concise, which don't have external words, which has not conveyed exaggerated information or the words exaggerating your idea. Everything is reason based. You have presented it in a very logical way that can easily persuade your the other organization. So in that way, if you have written a proposal, it for surely accepted by that organization. Market analysis is that what correctly exists in the marketplace, including competing product or the product. So how does your solution compare? Your product is going to compare in that. You will, if for example, your product is going to compete how the rest of the other products, like your fabric that you have used, the idea of your designing that you have made into that product, how it is going to compare the rest of the brands like Sapphires or the Beach Tree or the Elan or Maria B or whatever. So how your idea will compete with them, how it is different. Because if there is no difference, then why you are going to launch it? There must be a gap that your product is going to fulfill in the market, and in your proposal you have to write down about this, you have to talk about this. Got it? Is it clear, class? Okay, then we are going to talk about mm, in business proposal we need to put focus on the benefits of that, who your buyers benefit, then the timeline, and then the marketing plan. Marketing strategy is the core or the backbone of any business proposal. So when you are going to talk about the benefits of that, yeah, how that product is going to be beneficial for that organization whom you are going to have a contract, so make it specify that very thing. Those benefits should be the top priority of that organization, and they actually basically they actually always a top priority of the organ of every organization. So you have to very thoughtful about while writing that. Timeline is about a clear presentation with aviates or the process from start to finish. So dates should be there, so everything should be there, that when you are going to launch it, when it is going to be hit the market and all. Then your marketing plan is about delivery is often the greatest challenge of the web based services. If online services are there, so delivery is a huge problem. So how people will learn about you? If you are buying or on a gross lot of food service suppliers, so this may not apply on that. But if you are web based, if you are going to provide your services online, so that requires your plans. So but if an audience is required access, so you will need a marketing plan for it, like how people will approach to you, what type of tactics you are going to use while introducing your product into the markets that can catch and that can grab the attention of the people. So you have to put that strategy as well into your proposal. Yes, the last one points are about finance. Obviously, the cost matters a lot while you are investing in a business, in any product. So your cost is the more core important thing, and you have to keep in mind what cost you have and what you are expecting from the that cost to meet about your requirements. So you have to plan about that as well, and you have to put that thing into your proposal as well. And the last is your conclusion. You can restate your ideas, you can tie all what you have quoted in that all proposal. You can end up or sum up into the last words. So the example is here for a business proposal. Read it. Okay, this is a letter. If you will see, this is a letter basically. What points I have given you, those points are basically about your detailed or fact sheet, the proposal that you are going to attach with it. So the letter, when you are going to write down, the if you can see the if you can see the middle line, I have attached a detailed fact sheet with all the relevant information you will need. That fact detail is basically based on your that proposal sheet, that the points that I have asked you to write down, the previously discussed point, like conclusion, finance, marketing plan, timeline, benefits, marketing analysis, proposal, background, executive summary, and cover page. So all these are belonging to this attachment. So while you are going to write down on that on a separate page, your letter should be about this. The first is about your information that you are going to convey, where you are going to state that you have an idea about some sort of business, and a few short information required into that. And second one is about you are going to convey the all information on a separate paper that is attached with that letter. And third one is about the investment idea, what you want, how much amount you want from them to invest in that product, into that business proposal. So what you requires, you have to talk about that. Then you can see another business proposal is there, and this is about basically a fund collection. Read it. Read it. Are you guys done with it? Guys, are you done with it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now can you recall the idea of this? Like, these are two different types of business proposal. The first one is about some product you have launched. It is about a product, and the second one uh, is about a charity. You are going to raise funds for an organization. So that is a collection of money. So this is a separate kind of idea about the business. So how you are going to write it down? This is basically the wording that you have to use in it. Then the last very topic, that is about the letter of apology. When we talk a letter of apology, that I'm pretty sure it comes in your mind that obviously we need to going to sort out a conflict. So when a conflict arises between organizations, between two people, so they always try to write down a letter of apology. Apologizing of a letter permits the other person to accept your apology without argument or waffling. So instead of indulging into that conflict more, it is going to resolve that conflict. So it will eliminate, so always your desire to want to retract part, instead of leaving someone, you always try to come towards the solution of that conflict. So at that same time, you don't turn to the letter simply to distance yourself from a difficult situation or protect yourself from a situation that is very confrontational. So in that kind of situation, the apology letters always help people to solve that matter. The advantage of the letter writing is that you can take your time composing your thoughts, and the recipient can similarly take their time considering your message and deciding how to respond you accordingly. Basically, sometimes maybe your apology in front of the person may not help you as your letter of apology is going to help you. It can give the person his or her personal space to think on it. It can also may sometimes convince them that some person has made an effort, and your words basically they are going to convince them, they are going to bring them towards your positive side. So that's why a letter of apology plays a vital role while we talk about the uh, elimination of the conflicts. Then there are some tips that required into the apology letter. Always apologize unconditionally. Sometimes you are apologizing to a person and you are saying, I'm sorry, but you also need to think what you have done. This is not a way to apologize. That means instead of resolving that conflict, you are dragging that person again into that conflict. And instead of thinking on your apology, the person may be going to be more mad at you. So that's why you have to keep in mind, while you are apologizing, simply apologize it. Don't make it conditional. Then admit if you are wrong. If it's in our life, for a person it's really hard. The most difficult thing is to admit your own fault, to accept what you have done was wrong. So admitting that kind of thing is important as well, and it is hard nowadays as well. People never try to put focus on it, but we should do. If you are going to accept it with open heart, trust me, the other person will remove all that, whatever they have kept. So accept the blame even if the other person is not in fact blameless. Sometimes to resolve conflict, it is really important for us. Even the next person to you is not is responsible for that conflict, but your thought, your words, that of apology, and not making other feel to be guilty for it, are good, a good step towards peace. So make your letter like that. Then be the bigger person. Don't be pity or search for the ways in which they previously did to you wrong. And if there is a compensation for your apology, so don't try to use these kind of tactics that you want a compensation for your apology. Otherwise it's useless. You don't need to come then like apologize from the person. So this is the uh, wording that you basically need for the letter of apology. You will read it. When you will read it, just raise your hand, guys. Okay. So you will see that how the words are used here. First, the very first paragraph, if you are going to talk about in the very first paragraph, they have talked about the what basically happened between them. What was the conflict that arised between two persons, and the last one is totally about apology. And that apology is not only uh, an apology with the words, but it is also with the concern as well. So that concern basically going to make other convince sorry, that that last part is basically going to convince other to think on your apology and to consider it. So that's why we need to make it in that way. There is another sample of apology letters. You can make it. And then there is your apology letter assignment. When you are going to make about your apology letter, draft an authentic apology letter with a greeting, 15 plus sentences into the body and closing. So you have to keep in mind these points, that who are you apologizing to, what are you apologizing for, how will you appeal to your audiences, ethos, pathos, and logos, whatever their requirements are, you have to fulfill that. Reflecting paragraph, how specifically are you appealing to those? Provide some data to your support about your claims. These ethos, logos, and pathos are the data that you are going to be talk about your uh, claims, your supported claims about your apology. So guys, you have to keep in mind, while you are going to write down this letter, please, everything uh, must be very you can say concise. If there is any question till now, you can ask. And this is all about your today's lecture. I'm going to unmute you all. Yes, guys. If there is any question, guys, you can ask.
फरवाद आज से चला करते जीरो फर्स्ट कम
Guys, Farwa, come on. when we talk about ethos, that means your ethical consideration of that appeal. If you're apologizing, what ethics you need to maintain in your writing, that is basically ethos. When you are going to pathos, talk about, so your convincing ideas, how you are going to convince the next person whom you are going to make an apology. So you have to make pathos. And when you are going to talk about logos, so this is a reason that you are going to put in front of that person whom you are going to make an apology, of that apology. So this is basically logos. If you wanted that, you can go for the uh, pathos sathoslogos.com, and they will give you an explanation of that as well, so you can read it.